Hello there. This is going to be a video on another Rustling exercise. Here we've got error E0381, used binding X isn't initialized. And you can see there that there's the let X of type I32, so it's declared to have some type and name, but not a value, which is not necessarily a problem until you need to use a value, and that's where, when you get down to this print line macro line, number, and then formatted print for whatever the value of X is. Now, it says a note on the left-hand side, note this or error originates in the macro crate format args nl, which comes from the expansion of the macro print line in nightly builds. Run with the -Z macro backtrace for more information. We're not running in the nightly builds, I don't think. Help consider assigning a value. This is the compiler being super helpful for us to solve this puzzle. Let X be assigned the value of 42. For more information about this error, we could try rustc explain E3081. Could do that. I don't think we're going to do that this time, but that's always a thing you can look at for, especially they tend to have pretty good examples. So, could not compile exercises bin variables 3 due to the one previous error. Now, the compiler already told us what we need to do. The problem basically is that X is going to be used down here, and it doesn't have a well-defined value at all. We've just declared that X is a variable, and we've declared what its type is, but not what a value for that variable is. So, what can we do? We can assign a value. Might as well go with 42, the meaning of life and all that jazz, and give it a second, and yeah, that was it. That solved the problem. So just out of curiosity, what kind of hint did it give for us? Hint. In this exercise, we have a variable binding that we've created in the main function, and we're trying to use it in the next line, but we haven't given it a value. We can't print out something that isn't there. Try giving X a value. This is an error that can cause bugs that's very easy to make in any programming language. Thankfully, the Rust compiler has caught this for us. Nice. The other thing we can do is take a little peek at the solution set. Okay, I don't think we need to worry about the macro allow clippy needless late init. It's probably not for us. But inside the main function, reading uninitialized variables isn't allowed in Rust. Therefore, we need to assign a value first, and they chose the same value recommended by the compiler, 42, clearly one of the best integers ever invented. Print line macro number with X being formatted. It is possible to declare a variable and initialize it later, but it can't be used before initialization. So here, for example, they've declared Y to be of type I32, and then later in the program, a different statement, they say Y is assigned the value of 42, and then similarly print. Okay, great. So I feel like that one was very straightforward and really just echoed the previous problem of being about, just being about really you have to give variables both values and types. And that the value in some sense, depending on the syntax, can tell you what the type should be, or at least that it will be de facto cast to certain types. And if you're explicit about both, then you've got exact control over both things. So with that, that's this episode, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.